So yeah, it's been my experience. What I'm learning is that whatever is for me is for me. It doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter whether I have what I think I need. Whatever's for me is for me. And, you know, we don't have to live in fear of that, right? Like, I don't have to live in fear that whether that something's going to be for me. If it's for me, it's for me. And I that's how the kingdom works out. That's how the kingdom of heaven works. That God has a life with my name on it. And there are some promises with my name on it. And that life and those promises are for me. And my task, my assignment is to get in alignment with what God has for me. And so many people want you to live in fear of that. Like somehow you're not going to have what God has for you, what God has intended for you. Like somehow you're not going to receive that or get that. People want you to live in fear of that. I remember this one guy telling me he was butthurt about something. And so his best response was, oh, well, that's why you're not going to ever have a man. You ain't going to never have a man. Really? Really? Okay, well, we know that's not true. But he doesn't get to dictate that. Nobody gets to dictate what God has for Najuma. Nobody gets to dictate what God has for you or for me, right? And then people want you to live in fear of that. Like somehow their words will manifest over your life. And they can if I allow it, but that ain't going down. So, don't it's a scarcity mindset. It's a scarcity mindset. And I haven't always known that principle. I haven't always known that principle. I had to learn it. I learned it, what I feel is late in life, in my early 30s, about a scarcity mindset. And the scarcity mindset is when you're always afraid. You're afraid. You live in a mindset where you don't believe there's enough, and there's enough to go around, and that there's enough for you. And when we when we try to live out of a scarcity mindset, when people live out of a scarcity mindset, it also blocks them from really stepping out on life and being all that they can be, because you just kind of feel it's a block in your mind, like there's not enough. And so people either limit themselves and don't do anything, because the other way a scarcity mindset limits us is, I hold back, I withhold, I keep everything, I hoard because it's not enough. But the problem with that is also keeps us from giving. And giving is a key principle in the kingdom. Giving is a key principle. Give and it shall be given, right? So that's a principle. And, scarcity mindset will block you from giving freely and openly, that then in a way that it puts you in the flow of receiving and puts you in the flow of being a conduit for more, right? And so we have to really break a scarcity mindset. And part of the way you break that is, number one, you give intentionally, whether you want to or not. That's so yeah, like when you have a scarcity mindset, and a lot of people do and they don't know it, right? Because it's not something that we're taught in school. You're not taught in school. Maybe you're functioning out of scarcity mindset. You have to learn these principles and these things in life sometimes. And prayerfully, people are in right environments and someone says, oh, you're operating out of a scarcity mindset. But what I found, the 3 ways to break out of a scarcity mindset, number one is to, do some inner work and figure out where that came from. That's a learned behavior, right? Be very intentional about your thoughts and what goes through your mind when you are challenged or invited to give, I should say. Not challenged to give, but invited to give. And then do the exact opposite, give anyway. Sow anyway. Pour out.